My name is Peter Todorowski, on behalf of the research team with Jason and Gosia from University of Stirling and Reshma, who was a public contributor involved in the project. I'm absolutely delighted to share about our work, which look at the using Lego to discuss data science with the Polish community. So, before actually going to talk about the project, I want to say a big thank you to our local partners in Aberdeen, without whom actually this project would not have been possible to become really a success. So a big thank you to Róża Ginter and Mateusz Ogoda from the Polish Association Aberdeen, and also to Klementyna Borowska from the Ice Candy School. So let's look a little bit on the project itself. So the project really aimed to inform those who work in the underrepresented communities about the Polish community's views on data science, the role of the researchers in the data science, and how to involve Polish people in data science. So it provided an opportunity to enhance the Polish community's understanding of the data science. And I would really argue it was about fostering new relationships and building trust with the Polish organizations in Aberdeen. So what happened during the project? Our participants built 35 unique Lego models, each with its unique story. We have 36 participants. And that happened throughout 3 different sessions, and each of the sessions took around 2 hours time. And one of the big strengths of the project is on dissemination was that we had a professional photographer who came after each of those sessions and took the pictures of those models. So you can see here on the right picture one of those models, and I included throughout my talk. So you're going to get a little bit idea how actually rich the models were built by our participants. So what is actually Lego Serious Play? Well, Lego is a well-known brand worldwide where users can play with small plastic bricks to assemble new constructions. A Lego Serious Play, as already developed method, is rethinking communicating a problem-solving technique for the groups. So we adopted it, and according to our knowledge, it has been the first time adopted to discuss the data science. And we follow the key steps here, which as an overview, I'm going to talk to you about now. So first, it was about presenting the question to our participants to guide the focus of the Lego brick assembly. So we asked our participants to build models from Lego bricks representing data being collected about people. So we had around 20 kilos of Lego bricks during the sessions. So this could have been anything, and we really encourage the participants to use the imagination. And then participants were asked to construct a character that represents a Polish person living in Scotland. So we have that data science aspect, but we also have this aspect of the Polish person in Scotland. So based on those initial models, participants were asked to add or remove bricks to show how their character would feel about, firstly, reusing the data for research, and 2, the impact of data science. Then we asked them to choose another Lego character to represent the researcher, add it to the model to embody the researcher role and position it in the story. So I have to let bit link what is going on already in the model to actually what is the role of the researchers there. So when the models were constructed, participants shared their work with the others and explained the meaning of their models. So really what happened then, the Lego bricks became a metaphor, allowing participants to share a story, which they felt was important and answered those questions we asked earlier. So then we have a group discussion and a reflection of the models during which participants and facilitators could ask questions to deepen the understanding and read the meanings behind each of the Lego construct. So a couple of the outcomes coming from this project. First of all, we improve our understanding of the Polish community views on the data science, because it's one of the communities we actually know very little about what they think about data science. Then we also managed to see if the Lego Serious Play can actually work as a method for the public engagement activity to discuss data science. And we have two dissemination key outcomes here. First of all, we have the online exhibition, which gives you a better glimpse and an overview actually what the project was about, what methods we use, more details, and gives you examples of the Lego models our participants built alongside the quotes describing them. So you can access it through the link or scanning the QR code. We also have two papers under review, one reviewing actually the methodology itself and how to replicate it for the others. And the other paper reports the findings of the project. And now when I'm talking about the findings, I really would like to share with you some of the examples of what our participants have shared. So this is just a glimpse, but showing some of our favorite models of what actually our participants built. So one of the key things that has been shared by our participants was the concerns about data research and how it's being used. So our participants generally agreed the data sharing is needed and helpful, but the laws protecting data need improvement regarding governance and the security. So one participant raised a specific example of the outdated NHS computer system, which might be susceptible to cyber attacks. Other participants expanded this concern to include data leakage. Another participant worried that in such a case, data could be used against a Polish person or the committee. So the issue of security can be clearly seen in the model 22, which you can see right now, where the researcher was responsible for enhancing security. So really what this model shows is what our person described a prison, which data is stored. So the Polish person inspects data storage through a window, and the researcher patches the hole in the storage system on the roof. So the clear metaphors here, both roles, responsibilities, and the interests as well. So other issues around the data concerns were around failure to utilize the data, failure to serve the public good, and deliberate exploitation of the data for commercial purposes. So to represent these fears, some persons captured them directly in the models, often using the metaphors. So on the left model is an island, and here the participant added the shark and crocodile, which symbolize dissatisfaction with reusing data without the consent or in a bad faith or against the humanity. And on the right model, you have here data science presented as a peaceful garden. However, there is snake in it too in the middle of it, you can see. So that snake symbolizes as the seed and how the data can be used in the two different ways, positive and the negative one. So plenty of our models had this kind of symbolism, which help us a little bit to understand more the Polish committee views on the data science. And I encourage you to look at the online exhibition to learn more about this. So in the terms of the next steps and the plans, really the project has shown the feasibility of using Lego Serious Play. And we found this very unique way of discussing people experiences and for them to reflecting of the views for the longer period of time, providing much in-depth answers. So far we ran 2 additional workshops using this approach. One during the patient and public involvement event hosted by NHS Research Scotland and the Chief Scientist's Office, and that particularly focused on the data science. But we also started to use this outside data science too, for example, at the Scottish Cancer Conference. So later this year, we plan to deliver another 2 workshops in the partnership with the other organizations. And we also hope to apply for further funding to expand our work to other underrepresented communities and to incorporate Lego Serious Play in other public engagement projects, because we've found it is really great way to approach with the people. And I'm happy to answer any questions. I look forward to the discussions in the groups. But if you don't get a chance to talk to me in the breakout rooms, please do not hesitate to send me an email with any questions. Thank you so much for listening.